Dear students, welcome to my YouTube channel MNR Physics. This is the second lecture on atomic physics. In this lecture, we are going to understand the Millikan's eye drop method. This lecture is split into two sessions. In the first session, we study the experimental procedure and the principle related with the eye drop method of determining the electronic charge. In the second session of this lecture, we are going to understand the theoretical aspects of Millikan's eye drop method. Robert Andrews Millikan, an American physicist, performed a brilliant set of experiments from 1909 to 1913, in which he measured the value of E, that is the magnitude of elementary charge on an electron, and also demonstrated the quantized nature of this charge. From 16th century itself, we learned that electronic charge is quantized. That quantized nature of electronic charge was experimentally demonstrated by Millikan by using this eye drop method. The major contribution of Millikan, the greatness of Millikan is this experiment is considered to be one of the most beautiful scientific experiments in the history of physics. That is because this was the first direct method and most accurate method used for the determination of electronic charge. The error in the experimental measurement of value of E is only about 1%. For his contribution on the determination of electronic charge, in addition to that, he did the work on the phenomena of photoelectric effect. For this work, he was awarded Nobel Prize in 1923 in recognition of his work. Now let us understand the basic principle used by Millikan in this eye drop experiment. The basic idea used by Millikan was to measure the rate of motion of a small charged oil drop in a viscous medium under free fall under the action of gravitational field, that is the gravity, under the action of gravity, and also the motion of the small drop under the action of electric field by applying the Stokes law. By adjusting the electric field suitably, a charged oil drop was made to move either up or down, or even it is kept balanced in the field of view for a sufficiently longer period. And a series of observations were taken in which he measured the time taken by the charged particle to move between the two specified points, by which he determined the terminal velocity. By using the value of terminal velocity and applying Stokes law, he was able to determine the charge of electron. This is the basic principle used in eye drop method. The experimental setup used by Millikan is as shown in this figure. The apparatus consists of two horizontal metal plates, A and B. They are circular brass discs. Actually, these two plates are circular brass discs having diameter about 22 centimeters, and they are placed parallel to each other. The upper plate is being pierced with a tiny pinhole edge. This is the pinhole. It has a tiny pinhole. The plates are optically worked and are made plane within an error of 10 to the power of -4 centimeter. They are held by using three exactly equal insulating spaces QQ. Insulating spaces, three exactly equal insulating spaces separated by a distance about having length about 14.92 millimeter. So each quartz spacer has a length of 14.92 millimeter. Means The two plates A and B are separated by a distance of 14.92 millimeter. These plates are arranged in a chamber C containing purified dry air, which is surrounded by a constant temperature oil bath D. This is a chamber which is enclosed within a temperature oil bath D, so that the temperature of the experimental setup is maintained constant. The lower plate B is connected to negative potential, that is earthed, while the plate A is connected to a positive potential of the order of 10,000 volts from a high tension battery. When the drop passes through, the air drop passes through the space between the two plates, the speed of its motion can be controlled by altering the voltage applied to the plates. That is, by altering the voltage, we can change the electric field so that its speed can be controlled depending on the voltage applied or the field varied. The space between the plates A and B is strongly illuminated by means of an arc lamp adjusted in front of the window 1. This is the window 1. An arc lamp is placed in front of it, and it is provided with the two filters F and F dash. The first filter F containing water and the second filter F dash containing cupric chloride. The purpose of using these two filters is to remove the heat rays. Whatever the heat rays contained in the arc lamp, those heat rays are eliminated by passing the light through the two filters F and F dash. An atomizer E is inserted inside the chamber to spray the fine oil droplets. Oil droplets made up of some heavy non-volatile liquid such as an oil, castor oil or glycerin, because they suffers little evaporation. In the actual original experiment, initially Millikan performed the experiment with water. As the droplets gets evaporated quickly, he find it very difficult to perform the experiment. So he replaced the water droplets with oil droplets, which are generally considered to be taken from a non-volatile liquid and thick in nature, such as either glycerin or some oil, which suffers little evaporation. This atomizer is placed just above the orifice, that is the pinhole H, which is provided at the upper plate A. As the drops come out of the atomizer, at the nozzle of the atomizer, they get charged due to frictional effects. And these charged oil drops coming out of the nozzle make their way towards the plate A. They move down slowly. Occasionally, a tiny drop makes its path through the hole H, which enters into the chamber. Additional ions can also be produced by ionizing the air between the plates by means of X-rays or a radioactive source directed through the window W2. This is the window W2 through which X-rays or radiation from any radioactive source is made to enter through the chamber, so that the droplets which are already charged due to frictional effects may be provided with additional charges. The freed electrons adhere to the oil drops, giving them the additional negative charge. The drops are observed by means of a low power or the short focal distance microscope, whose long axis is perpendicular to the light beam, placed in front of the window 3. Actually, in the original experimental setup, window W3 is not shown. This represents the schematic diagram of the 3 windows. The first window for the light source, second window for the ionizing source such as X-ray or any radioactive source, through the third window, a telescope is focused. The observations are made with the help of a short focus telescope. The drafts appear in the field of view of the telescope as the shining specks of light against the dark background. Observe this is the field of view which is observed through the window W3. The eye drop appears as a shining speck of light against the dark background. The eyepiece of the micrometer is provided with the eyepiece of the telescope is provided with the micrometer scale placed parallel to its focal plane to measure the rate at which the individual drafts descend between the plates. This is the micrometer scale provided in the eyepiece of the telescope, such that the motion of the eye drop between the plates can be measured. By measuring the distance traveled, we can, by noting down the time taken, we can calculate the velocity that gives us the terminal velocity of the eye drop. By using the value of terminal velocity, we can easily apply Stokes' law. Majority of the drafts move rapidly towards either of the plates, and a few of them remains almost stationary or move slowly upward under the combined action of electric and gravitational fields. Due to their mass, there is a gravitational force of the gravitational field is present. In addition to that, by connecting the plates A and B to a high potential, we can apply electric field. By applying a suitable electric field, the drafts are either made to remain stationary or move slowly upwards or move rapidly downwards. By studying the motion of these drafts or considering the stationary drop alone, we can find the electronic charge. The actual experimental procedure is as follows. The light is switched on to the chamber. The microscope is focused onto it, and the eye drops are sprayed into the chamber using the atomizer. As the tiny drop which passes through the hole edge, pinhole edge, it falls through the space between the plates under the action of electric field or gravitational field or the combined action. The motion of the drop is observed with the help of the telescope which is provided in the window 3. Any one particular eye drop is chosen and it is kept in the field of view of the telescope, and its motion under the gravity is observed. The first step, the electric field is switched off. In the absence of electric field, the drop moves alone under the action of only the gravitational effect, and its motion is steady. In the second case, a suitable electric field is applied. Under the action of combined effect of electric and gravitational field, the motion of the eye drop is steady. In the third case, either the field is reversed or switched off, or by switching on the ionizing source, additional charges are given to the eye drop, and again the motion of the drop under the combined action of electric and gravitational field is steady. There are 3 steps. In the first step, the motion of the drop under the gravity is studied in the absence of electric field. Second case, under the action of suitable electric field and the gravitational field, the motion is studied. In the third case, the charge is given additional charges by switching on the ionizing source. Again, the motion of the drop is studied. This is the procedure adopted by Millikan to determine the electronic charge. The various values of terminal velocities of the drop are observed, and from the data, the changes in V, the terminal velocity, that is delta V, is calculated. The experimental observations made by Millikan shows that there is a minimum value of delta V observed which is found to be proportional to the smallest unit of electronic charge. Theoretical calculation shows that the change in terminal velocity is directly proportional to the change in electronic charge. When additional charges are given, the charge on the drop changes. The change in terminal velocity is directly proportional to the change in electronic charge. When the experiment is performed under different conditions, it is found that there is a minimum value of change in terminal velocity, which is found to be proportional to the smallest unit of electronic charge, delta Q, within the experimental error. While the other values of delta V are found to be an integral values of this smallest unit of electronic charge. This minimum value of delta V is used to calculate the electronic charge. The figure shows the complete original setup used by Millikan to determine the electronic charge. And this figure shows the windows, 3 windows, and one of the windows is provided with the telescope. One window is connected to a light source. The third window is connected to an ionizing source. This is the original setup used by Millikan to determine the electronic charge. In the next session, we are going to understand the theoretical aspects of this ion drop method. Thank you.